Okay, well, I guess we're gonna get started early today. Make up for yesterday. Okay, so we're going trophy hunting today. We have about 5 or 6 trophies left, so not really a lot. So we're gonna see about hunting them down. Get some stuff done, basically. Okay, so a couple things that we have to do. So number one, we do have to get these quests out of the way. We're going to be going and diving back into the forest, into the Dreamer door there. We're going to look into finding just all of the Higgledies, all the Higgledy stones, which means I'm going to have to go into every single dungeon in the game.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. We also have to finish getting our research done. I mean, that has to happen. Okay, what are we waiting on here? Master of Sense of Style. Okay, we're waiting on that. Okay, you need someone to know Singularity, but you're still using them. What research can I actually do? That's in progress. That's in progress. That's in progress. Waiting on that. So, I think what we need to do then is we need to move people into the salon, which levels them up. And just gets them extra experience, which is important. So we need to get metaphysicality going. Alice is currently working on something. I know we need you to get done with your stuff. You need to get done with your stuff. And where's Yappy? Oh, no, Yappy's done. Okay. That's good. So they're all done. Let's see, who else? Just trying to see, like, who actually... No, you're actually researching something. Guess we'll move you over here. That way y'all can get that stuff done. I guess we can level up to tier 4. Excellent. And who else needs to be in here? She's currently doing stuff. Oh, let's get you in here. Okay. That's basically everything we can do in town right now. Hey, Gia. Okay. So, we're going to start at Hideaway Hollow. And we have to go into every single dungeon at this point. Because we are looking for things. We are looking for... God, this is going to take so long. Okay. So, what we are looking for... We're looking for, I believe, one single... corrupt or tainted monster. So we're looking for this one. We don't know where this one is. So we're looking for a tainted monster. Then we got to go beat these two, but we're gonna do it. So we got to beat a tainted monster, or find the tainted monster. Got to beat those tainted monsters. We are also looking for all of the Higgledy stones that I did not get. Now there's about 15 of them. I know where, like, one is. That's not what I want. So we go into the vital statistics. All we have to do is look for Higgledy Stone offerings. So there's 30 total Higgledy Stones. We have done 19. So we actually need 11, but we have to find, 10 of them. We also have a lot of stuff we got to do. We have to collect another, I believe it's 20 gold balls. Yeah, we got to collect another 20. But we have to collect about 1,000 of the regular balls, like the regular blue-green. So we're going to need to get into a lot of combats for this. We're on our last... We only need one more songbook, so we're there. We have to cook dishes, but that's mostly just getting ingredients. It's not a big deal. Upgrade our spells, cook 50 different Higgledies, 50 different challenges. So we got to see exactly how far we are off of that. But that shouldn't be a big deal. Complete 100 errands. That should be pretty easy. Satisfying every Higgledy Stone, so there's that one. Amass 500,000 guilders. It's also going to take a while because we just have to grind. So that's what most of that stuff is. It's just a lot of grinding. Let's see. We will summon Big Hig. We will do it. So we've collected 29 out of 30 songbooks, so that should be pretty easy. We will probably make all the weapons and armors. So we're at 28 out of 50 Higgledies cooked. We're at 18 spells upgraded. Okay. We're at 37 skirmishes out of... Did it say 100? I believe it said 100. I have to plug in my controller. 50, okay. So 37 out of 50. That's actually not that bad. That's actually not that bad at all. So that should be pretty easy. Let's see. What else do we have to do? So complete this once. I don't know if the Dreamer's Maze key orbs count. How many orbs did it ask for? Specific balls, specifically, not orbs. Okay. So, whoop, that's not what I wanted. So to go collect all those stuff. Defeat the retrials. We can do that fine. Higgledy Almanac needs to be... doesn't need to be completed, but it would probably be pretty useful. Number of times you've seen the ending. That's interesting. Okay, and we have gained a lot of guilders, but unfortunately we have not gained enough of the guilders. Okay, so we have this stuff done right. We're going to switch this stuff over to cash. We want cash and fines is what we're looking for. So we'll get that done. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye out. And what we're specifically looking for is we're looking for Higgledy Stones. The only Higgledy Stone I know of off the top of my head that I know what it is and where it is the Higgledy Stone in Higgledy Stone in the Force of Neil. It's the only one I know of that I actually know it, and I know that we have not completed it. So the downside to that is that we have to now go and check pretty much every other dungeon and just see, is there a Higgledy Stone there? Do we have to complete it there? So we're going to start up there with Tumbledown Shrine. As I said, we're still looking for a single tainted monster. I believe we actually have one in Tumbledown Shrine to take out, so, good news is we know where one of them is, right? Another one is the big dragon. So let's see. There's no Higgledy Stone over here. We will also basically consistently be getting ingredients as we go, just because we can keep on just going back to Evermore every couple of attempts, and we will continue to find, I believe, Oh, did not want that. Yep, there's one of the corrupted guys. One of the tainted guys. Yeah, so we will, you know, we can go back to Evermore and get, you know, get ingredients, which will help us craft. We do need to get all of our stuff in Evermore up to max level. So we're probably going to start focusing on that in between doing research. Okay, dude, what do you have to say? Okay, cursed equipment. Right. We've only gotten one piece of cursed equipment the entire game. And I didn't bother uncursing it because I think that piece of equipment was actually not good. Okay. So we'll fight the Berserker. Shouldn't be too hard of a fight. He is considerably below our level. He's taking a lot of damage, though. That's, it's kind of annoying. Call in our guys here.
Here goes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that better knock him over. So far, not a bad fight. Did not break him. Oh, I did. Okay. The very last second broke him. Got some level ups. Oh, that would be one of the orbs we wanted. Some super safe Warlord's armor. Man, if only that was actually any good. Some determined strongbox boots. That's one of our missing Higgledy stones. Okay. So we got one of our corrupted and one of our Higgledy stones in the same dungeon. Okay, what do you want? Prisms, the little ones that don't do much. So, clear prism? Awesome. And there's a light Higgledy. Tilly Loo the Twiggly. Excellent. Okay, so we got that one. We know that there should be a Higgledy over in the Broadleaf area, because that's tied to the quest that we're on. So that should be a pretty easy one. We could just check the rest of this dungeon real quick, but I'm pretty reasonably certain that, you know, what we just got is the only Higgledy here. But I do want to check real quick. Hello, friend. Are you hiding something? Is there a thing here that I should know about? We got whole milk, which is important, because that is one of the things that one of the Higgledies asked for that we couldn't supply in the past. Ow.
Don't let me down.
And basically, we want to be in combat as much as we can. To allow, to allow the orbs to be dropped. Seriously? Can we not? Can you not be blocking everything I shoot at you? Thank you. Ooh, actually, we need that Tranquillium and the melt in your mouth. Like, that was... Both of those were things that I actually need. So that was actually a good, good fight. Okay, do we have a fast travel point anywhere nearby? Let's just go to Ding Dong Dell. I think we need to go into the sewer. I'm not going to do it now. We're going to do it after I check the next spot. But I believe there was one in the sewer we needed to get. Okay, let's go to the Western Woods. I should have done this while I was looking for trapdoors, but I wasn't even thinking about it. I will say, I'm a little bit saddened to be seeing the back of this game. You know, there's a lot of good stuff in this game, a lot of awesome things. I loved the storyline. I loved a lot of the characters. Not every character made a huge impression on me. I think, you know, I'll be honest, Batu, I think, you know, was underutilized throughout the course of the game. I didn't really get a lot of characterization off of him. I think, as much as I kind of like Evan and his characterization, I think his voice actor left some, you know, some stuff to be desired. But it may be a, you know, a kid voice actor who didn't do the best. There were some lines that I thought he hit very well. Like, there were sometimes when Evan had a line, I'm like, okay, that was actually pretty good. But other times, I didn't, like, really feel the emotion. I really liked Roland. Leander was pretty good. I liked Bracken. Tawny was okay. She definitely wasn't my favorite character in the game, but she did pretty well. You know, there's characters I would like to see again. I'm looking forward to whatever's on the season pass. I don't know what's going to be on the season pass. I don't know when it's going to come out. But I'm actually looking forward to coming back to the game to look at whatever they come up with. This is one of those games. So clocking in at 53 hours right now. So keep in mind, that's 53 hours for right now, which is pretty close to 100% completion. So, I'm not sure where I normally feel about that, because a lot of these games, I had that thing that Trance, kind of brought up, which is, do I get, okay, so nothing here. Do I get an hour's worth of enjoyment for every dollar I spent on it? And kind of ignoring the fact that I bought the collector's edition of Ni no Kuni, so lots more money. But kind of thinking of Ni no Kuni as a $60 game. 53 hours is a little lower. And as an RPG, I was actually expecting to be a little bit higher. I was expecting closer to like 70 or 80 hours, because that's actually what Ni no Kuni 1 clocked in at. So I was expecting a little bit more. But what I'm finding is that I don't think it overstayed its welcome. I think it ended at a point where it kind of did everything it needed to do. It didn't try to lengthen the game. It didn't try to make the game last longer. Let's see, gotta look around here. But it doesn't feel like the game tried to, just to add a ton of stuff just for the sake of adding it. It had a little bit of stuff to allow lengthened play, things like Dreamer Doors, things like that. Lots of collectibles. So it did add some stuff, but it didn't try to just add just a story for the sake of story. Like it didn't add stuff just to add time, which I appreciate. So I'm pretty okay. That one's been done, but there was another one in here that I think we couldn't do. So that's what I'm on the lookout for. See, overall, I'm pretty pleased. Like, I will absolutely be recommending Ni no Kuni 2. What I can't figure out is how I feel about Ni no Kuni 2 versus Ni no Kuni 1. And there's some things that I think Ni no Kuni 1 definitely did better. I think the combat system in 2 is more accessible. But I think the actual combat, in terms of, like, being interesting, is probably better in 1. Not having necessarily direct control, and Ni no Kuni 1 made things a little bit more interesting, and the monster catching mechanic I thought was especially interesting and useful. It was a very different mechanic than most that I've seen. And 2, the 2's mechanics were mostly hack and slash. You know, there was not a lot of a thought that really had to be put into 2's mechanics in terms of combat specifically. So, you know, I was really kind of hoping for fully animated sections. No Kuni 1 had not a lot of them, but I think it had like maybe 3 sections of the game that were like studio animated, including like the original you know, creation of the door that brought Oliver over. So I think that, you know, 1 probably had some benefits there. I'm thinking, though, that 2 probably had some better characterization, if I really had to be honest, you know, and sit back and think on it. I think 2 probably had some better characters. You know, Oliver had some, you know, very interesting kind of concepts to him, but there wasn't really much there as a main character to really bring Oliver forth, that I recall. You know, I'm sitting back, keep in mind, this is... Part of it is I haven't played the game in a while, but also I sit here and I go, you know, look, the test of time is, can I remember what made this character interesting or unique? And if I have trouble remembering that, then that usually means to me that, well, the character didn't really make enough of an impression. But, you know, Oliver had some stuff to him. He wanted to build a car and stuff like that. But that, you know, there wasn't really a lot to him as a protagonist for the majority of the game. Evan doesn't really have a lot going for him necessarily either, but he kind of grows a little bit more than Oliver did, in my opinion. But then you also have Roland, who's backing him up. You know, the side characters in Ni no Kuni 1 were interesting and had some cool stuff to do with them, but they didn't really necessarily stand out as much. It might just be that I'm looking at it and I look at, less so Leander, more Bracken and Tani, specifically. Batu, I'm you know, kind of take it or leave it on this. But I think Bracken and Tani really do definitely feel like Studio Ghibli characters. I mean, Batu in design, like visual design, absolutely is. You know, the big dude, gigantic bushy, you know, mustache, absolutely. But I think, like, personality-wise, the other 2 definitely have much more of that feel. And they feel, there we are. They definitely feel a little more fleshed out because of it. What did you want? Okay, you want the whip bone, which I believe you're talking about the forked tailbone. Awesome. Hey, that looks interesting. Dimity the Dastardly. Cool. And I think Ni no Kuni 1, its monster design was okay. In terms of, like, capturable monsters. I think I like the idea, like, the mental idea of Higgledies better than I like the mental idea of the monsters. But I think Ni no Kuni 1, because of the monster catching, definitely had better monster design. Ni no Kuni 2, you know, we definitely have a lot of repeating monsters. Yeah, the monster design, there's not a lot there. Like, we have, like, 12 different monsters in this game. It's not exactly a ton. Pretty low for an RPG of this scale. Ni no Kuni 1 definitely did better than that. I think music in 2 was probably better. You know, same composer. So I mean, this is, I'm not bashing on Mr. Joe Hisiashi. Like, it's same composer either way. Would you stop that, Roland? But I think his music in this one was a little bit more fleshed out for most cases. But I would definitely want to go back and compare. Like, I'm sure there were a lot of good and catchy songs in 1 that I just don't remember because it's been a couple years. I think 2 tried to do an 11th hour twist with Roland versus Dolaran, but the problem is Ni no Kuni 1 also did the same twist. So I don't really know. I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, thankfully, they didn't try to make it as big a deal, but I will say I think the story of 2, certain aspects were a little bit more powerful than 1. I think if we're talking about, you know, 1 was really just like, hey, I want to go get my mom. Like, okay, well, you have to do a bunch of things to get your mom. Okay, well, okay, the world's kind of in trouble. You're going to have to save the world in order to get your mom. Okay, well, let's do that. Oh, okay. I think 2 kind of had a bigger kind of starting concept. And kind of did some things a little bit better there. I think Roland's entire betrayal storyline, you guys heard exactly how, you know, how I reacted to that. Like, that entire storyline was this big thing with this character you've been with the entire time. That was kind of a big deal. So I think they did really well there. And I like that we have, you know, we have Mr. Drippy versus Lofty. And I think that was also kind of a major thing, because, you know, I feel that Lofty does a better job of what he's trying to do than Drippy did. Like, you know, they're both kind of guides. They're both kind of a little bit of comic relief. They both kind of do stuff. But, you know, Drippy was a guide, but I think he very quickly fell off in what he was really good for, I think. You know, once you kind of got past the King of the Fairies thing, he kind of faded off. Like, there wasn't a lot of... you didn't really use Drippy a lot. You know, he didn't really have this major, necessarily, impact on the story. You know, he kind of got you into the world, but he kind of stopped being a big deal for a long time. And then he gets to be a bigger deal when you get to, you know, the Fairy Island. But that's kind of about it. Like, he doesn't really... He's a companion, and that's about it, I think, is what got to me on there. Whereas Lofty is definitely a bigger deal. You know, Lofty, he's intrinsically tied to the storyline. He's with you pretty much every step of the way. He's constantly making, you know, comments. And then, you know, in battle, he's basically the same guy, right? He does the same stuff. But I think outside of battle, Lofty feels more important. I think that, let's see, so overworld-wise, 2 and 1 basically feel the same. It doesn't, I need to stop doing that. It doesn't really feel as if in the overworld there's a tremendous difference between Ni no Kuni 1 and 2. They both have a flight mechanic. They both have an ocean mechanic. You know, they both have fast travel of various types. Nothing really changes there. I think Ni no Kuni 2's item creation is definitely better. There's something to be said for the way 1 did it, which is throwing items into a pot and just see if you make something. And then if you have recipes, make the recipe. You know, there's definitely something to be said for that, but I think that was just annoying, honestly. It wasn't something I really enjoyed doing. I didn't want to throw stuff into the pot over and over and over and just, like, hope I made something. Yeah, Ni no Kuni 1... Well, see, that's the thing. Ni no Kuni 1 didn't have the U.S. president. It didn't have Roland as he was. But it was also a different... The whole... What's the word I want to use here? The whole deal with, I'm gonna go to Karate Grotto. The whole deal with, the, soulmate thing, where you traveled from one reality to another, that was very different in Ni no Kuni 1. The main character, so technically, if you really look at Ni no Kuni 2, Evan is the main character. He is who is meant to be the main character. In Ni no Kuni 1... So Evan's the main character, but Evan exists in this universe, right? Roland's... he's kind of a guest character. Well, he's not even a guest character. But he's not the main character, and he just kind of shows up, right? Hey, Grenizzle, welcome back. So, you know, Roland shows up. He's from the other world, but being from the other world wasn't necessarily a big deal in this game. It doesn't really come up much, right? They talk occasionally about how he's from another world. They occasionally talk about... Yeah, I think they bring up once or twice that he has a wife and kid, and that only comes up once or twice. He never really talks about the other world. The story is very much focused on specifically this world, and they bring up a little bit that, yeah, Roland's not from here. But that's really all it is. They don't really go deep into it. Ni no Kuni 1, a major part of the storyline is that Oliver is from Earth. It's a huge part of the storyline. And a very large part of the storyline is the concept of people having, you know, basically the same person in two worlds connected through their soul. It's a major part of the storyline. You know, Oliver's supposed to have one. That turns out to be the biggest. It's the biggest thing. That's the 11th hour twist, is that Oliver has one and it's the bad guy. But the other thing was Oliver's mom dies on Earth. And when Drippy tells him that, wait, your mom has the soulmate in this world, go to this world and get her, that drives the entire storyline. It's Oliver trying to get his mom because she has a soulmate in the world of Ni no Kuni. Or actually, I don't think it's the name of the world, and I can't remember what the name of the world is. So that's a major part of the storyline. It doesn't happen in Ni no Kuni 2. It doesn't get brought up. It's not a big deal. In fact, you know, when they bring it... Actually, Ni no Kuni 2, I was actually kind of interested in this. When Dolaran comments about him being Roland's other, that's one of the first times Ni no Kuni 2 actually brought that up. Like, I'm actually thinking of the storyline now. I don't think Ni no Kuni 2 really made mention of the fact that there were soulmates. Like, I'm thinking on it. I don't think they did. I don't think they really brought it up at all. And if you didn't know Ni no Kuni 1, that probably caught you kind of by surprise. Let's see. The whole... The kingdom thing, I think, really replaced the monster rearing. And I really liked the kingdom management. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the game. It makes me want to go back and play my life as a king again. Any higgledy stones in here? Now, I didn't play a lot of the Ni no Kuni 1 post-game. But from what I'm able to see, it looks like the post-game in Ni no Kuni 1 is probably more extensive than the post-game in Ni no Kuni 2. But the flip side of that, however, is that Ni no Kuni 1's post-game was basically like DLC. What I mean by that is not you didn't download. That's not what I mean by that. But what I mean by that is that it was kind of like Ni no Kuni 1, the American release, was basically the Game of the Year edition, where all of the extra content had already been added in. There was a bunch of stuff that got added in to Ni no Kuni 1 that was not in the original release. So, I think that we may end up seeing a lot more of that post game in Ni no Kuni 2 eventually, once everything's been added up. Grenizzle, I don't know what you mean by... I don't know what you mean by that much influence. I think the trophy is 700,000 influence. So I don't know what you're referring to. What we're doing right now is we're going into the dungeons and we're trying to find out where all of the Higgledy stones are that I've missed. So basically, we're just going dungeon by dungeon. We're also trying to find one last corrupted, or like tainted monster that we don't know. Oh yeah, we'll eventually get to maximum. Okay, there's Higgledy stone here. I don't think there's any more in here. We'll eventually get to maximum influence. We're just not there yet. We'll get there. But I have to wait for, you know, money to pour in so I can keep on upgrading stuff. I only just started streaming 30 minutes ago. So we're going to be hunting. We still have to do another, like, 17 army battles. Which shouldn't be too bad. We'll go see if there's any other ones I haven't done yet. Let's see if we can level up our army a little bit more just for kicks. But, I mean, we've already gotten Tyrion. There's nobody else to recruit, so... So nothing there. How about over in this one? Hey RFS, welcome. Yeah, I think we're not going to do it next, obviously, because I think I may be a little bit straight up RPG'd out right now. Especially because I kind of want to go back and do Evolution in the near future. But we're definitely, in the future, I'm definitely going to do Ni no Kuni 1 on stream. And we'll knock that out too. I didn't actually 100% complete Ni no Kuni 1, which I actually regretted, to be honest with you. I really wanted to. So I think we will also end up 100%ing Ni no Kuni 1 at, when I end up doing that. Okay, that's Cloud Coil Canyon. There's really nothing else up here, so let's go check the dugout. Now, actually, that's something I need to check. Did we ever get the Dark Crystal? Oh, that's not the right set. Like, I know we have Dark Crystals, but did we get Dark Prisms, I believe, is the one that we were looking for. Here's the crystals. Where's the prisms? Okay. See, I can't help but feel as if there's a prism we're missing. Yeah, there you go. So Nightmare Prism, I guess, is the name. So we're looking for that one. I don't know where we get it, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out for it. So yeah, I'm trying to decide what we're gonna do next. I haven't decided yet. Need 2 of them. That's not amazing. But yeah, we're gonna eventually need to I'm eventually need to figure out what I want to do next after this. I have a couple things but that I could potentially do. I just don't know what I'm in the mood to do. And I don't know if it's going to be tonight. I don't know how long finishing everything is going to take. You liked the thwompy bassy noise from the Stone Guardian monster thing. Not sure I know what you mean, Gia. Well, Basie. I could pronounce that right. I can, I promise. Well, yeah, I know the monster you're talking about, but I'm not sure I know what noise you're talking about. Oh, made a noise and rotated. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing. Looks like there is not a, not one here. You know, now that I think about it, though, talking about that right there. Now I think about it, No Kuni 1 didn't really have. And, you know, I'm going to say this, and you're going to sit there going, nah, what the hell are you talking about? But No Kuni 1 didn't really have the quote-unquote pointless dungeons on the overworld. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the dungeons on the overworld in No Kuni 2 are, you know, not good or enjoyable, but there definitely isn't a, like, tremendous reason for a lot of them, and not a lot of them are unique. You know, a lot of them share visual aspects. You know, they might as well, basically they might as well just come right out of the dreamer's doors. Okay, there he is. They might have just come out of the dreamer's doors. You know, they're I passed the blue chest. Did I? But you know, there was not a, oh, there it is. Yeah, there was just not a lot of, like, every place on No Kuni 1 seemed to have a point and purpose. There was a reason for it. Hey, songbook. Hey, that can't be right. Because I know where the last music is. Are there more than 30 songs? But yeah, like, I don't remember there being places in No Kuni 1 that you could go to that weren't, like, storyline important. I don't know, I might be misremembering that. But I think I remember that, like, everywhere in No Kuni 1, you went there for story or for, you know, kind of for a major event. Everything was pretty much unique in how it looked for the most part. Whereas a lot of these, you know, all these forest areas are basically interchangeable. It doesn't really... There's not a lot that's unique about them. Like, they look visually stunning. Yeah, they actually... Like, this looks really nice. But you could walk into any forested dungeon area in this game and think you're in any other one. Like, each of them, you know, has a couple of unique, you know, unique visual identifiers and unique things, and the layouts are not the same. But, you know, every single forest area. There's 31 total? Okay, then we're going to be getting all 31. Okay. Because that's 30, and we have the quest for 31. Good catch, Gia. Okay, so things that are potentially on the docket for the future. While we're kind of running around. I actually have my PS3 hooked up. It's sitting right in front of me. So that opens up Ratchet & Clank. Ratchet and Clank, Crack in Time, which we haven't done yet. Ratchet and Clank, Into the Nexus, which I've actually never played, so I'd be running through that blind, which would be awesome. No Kuni, naturally. We already talked about that. We have Factorio, which I intend to play. It's going to be fun. There's Aegis Defenders, if we want another game that's Studio Ghibli inspired. Well, Gia, if you're interested, I've done most of the other ones on my channel. I have beaten Crack in Time, so I wouldn't mind doing it again, because we did do Tools of Destruction. That's the last one I did. So Crack in Time would be good. I've never done Into the Nexus. I might not do Full Frontal Assault just because I don't really feel interested in the tower defense aspects of it, and it doesn't feel like a true Ratchet and Clank to me. Then again, I did do Deadlocked, so, you know, your mileage may vary on that whole true Ratchet and Clank bit. And I haven't gotten all the trophies on it yet, but I have beaten and basically 100% of the new Ratchet and Clank, which I would love to do that on the channel too. So all of those will get done. I'm thinking on doing the Jak and Daxters. I didn't like Jak and Daxter as much as I liked Ratchet and Clank, so I'm kind of inclined not to do it. I might do Sly Cooper, though.